5 settings, about 10 minutes, and every one is switched on right now on your account unless you have already changed it. That is the part people get wrong about AI privacy. Nothing here is hidden and nothing is a scandal. All 5 are documented, disclosed, and sitting in a menu you have never opened. They are just on by default.
I am not going to run a scare story at you. Everything here is the company's own published behavior, with the source on screen. So, the 5, in the order that gets you the most back for the least time. Then the retention numbers nobody quotes. Then what none of it fixes. What you don't turn off, they keep. Let's go.
Answers first, in case that is all you came for. 1. ChatGPT, settings, data controls, and turn off improve the model for everyone. 2. Gemini, settings and help, then activity, and turn off keep activity. 3. Claude, settings, then privacy, and turn training off. 4. Copilot, your profile, then privacy, and turn off training on conversation activity. 5 is the odd one out, and it is not a toggle at all. Meta has no opt-out, so unlink WhatsApp from your account center.
That is the list. Everything after this is what each one does, how long each company keeps what it has, and where these switches stop working. Start with the switch that covers the most ground. If you only do one thing today, do this one. All 3 of the big assistants train on your conversations, unless you tell them not to. ChatGPT, Gemini, and the consumer version of Claude. And here is the part that surprises people. Paying does not change it. A Plus or Pro subscription buys capacity and features. It does not buy you out of training. There is a real exception if you are watching from work. Business, enterprise, education, and API access are excluded by default. So if your company pays for it, you are already out. In ChatGPT, it is under Settings, then Data Controls, called Improve the Model for Everyone. Gemini's is the same idea under a different name. Google calls it Keep Activity. It lives under Settings and Help, then Activity, and it is on by default. And Google is direct about what on means. A sample of your conversations and uploads may be read by actual human reviewers and used to improve its AI models. Not an algorithm, people. Claude's is under Settings, then Privacy. Anthropic is the interesting one. Until recently, it did not train on consumer conversations at all. That changed on August 28, 2025. 4 toggles, 5 minutes, and from now on, the things you type stop becoming training data.
Every switch in that last chapter only works forwards, which raises the obvious question. What about the things you already put out there? If you have ever used the share button in ChatGPT, that link is still live right now. Last year, around 4,500 shared ChatGPT conversations turned up in Google's index. Be careful with that story, because the viral version is wrong. Those were links people had specifically ticked as discoverable. Ordinary private chats were never exposed. OpenAI removed that option afterwards and worked with search engines to clear the index. Credit where it is due. But 2 things did not change, and they are the reason this chapter exists. Shared links do not expire, and deleting the original conversation does not delete the shared copy of it. So the link outlives the chat. Go to Settings, Data Controls, Shared Links, Manage, and you get a list of every link you ever created with dates. Mine went back over a year. Trash the ones you have forgotten. 2 minutes there, and what you shared once stops being permanently public. Every setting so far has had a switch. This one does not. Since December 16th, Meta uses your conversations with Meta AI to personalize the ads and content you get across Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger. There is no opt-out. If you use Meta AI, that is a targeting signal. 2 honest qualifications. Chats about health, politics, religion, and sexual orientation are excluded from ad targeting. And the policy does not apply in the UK, the European Union, or South Korea. So if you are watching from there, this chapter is not your problem. For everyone else, there is one wire you can cut. WhatsApp only feeds the other apps if it is linked inside your Meta account center.
That link is optional, and you can remove it. WhatsApp, Settings, Account Center. Pick your number, remove it. Be clear about what that does. It stops Meta combining your WhatsApp information with your other accounts. Meta's own wording is up to 7 days. It does not stop Meta AI conversations inside Facebook or Instagram from shaping ads there. And it deletes nothing. Your account, chats, and history all stay. You cannot switch this one off, but you can cut the wire, and that is worth doing tonight. Turning training off answers one question. Will this be used to build the model? It does not answer how long any of it sticks around. Nobody quotes those numbers, so here they are. Claude is the most specific. Conversations you allow for training can be retained up to 5 years. 5. That is the number you want in your head before you paste something into a chat window. Gemini's is the one people misread. Turning keep activity off stops future conversations being used. It does not reach back and delete conversations already selected for human review. Those are held separately, and the toggle does not clear them. Copilot's is similarly bounded, and Microsoft says so directly. Opting out excludes future conversations from model training. It does not stop your data being used for product improvement, advertising, or safety, security, and compliance. And ChatGPT has the most useful feature in this video, which almost nobody uses. Temporary chat is never used for training and is deleted within 30 days. If you are about to type something you would not want retained at all, that is the window to type it into. So the switches control the future. Temporary chat is how you control the present. Now the chapter most videos like this leave out, and the one that decides whether you should trust the other 8. None of these switches undo the past. Not one. If something you typed has already gone into a training run, no toggle reaches into a finished model and takes it out again. You are stopping the next conversation, not the last 100. None of them stop the ordinary running of the product either. Your conversations still travel to a server, still get stored against your account, and still get looked at where there is a safety or legal reason to. Microsoft says that outright, and it is true across all of them. Availability varies by region, and this catches people out. Some controls do not appear at all in some countries, sometimes because the data was already excluded there. If the setting is not there, you have not done anything wrong. And none of this is a substitute for the simplest control of all, which is what you choose to type. No setting screen will ever be as effective as not pasting the thing in the first place. That is the honest ceiling on all 5. Inside it, they are still worth doing, which brings us to actually doing them. So here is the run-through, and the order is deliberate. Widest reach first. Open ChatGPT, Settings, Data Controls. Turn off Improve the Model for Everyone. Then open Shared Links and clear out the old ones. One screen doing 2 jobs, and the best 2 minutes in this list. Then Gemini, Settings and Help, Activity, Keep Activity Off. Then Claude, Settings, Privacy, Training Off. Then Copilot, Profile, Privacy, Training on Conversation Activity Off. Then the last one, and the only one on your phone, WhatsApp, Settings, Account Center. If your WhatsApp is in there and you would rather it were not, remove it. 5 products, 1 pass. And what you type from tonight stops being kept by default. That is the gain, and it is permanent. You never do this again unless you change accounts. One last thing, and it is why this is the long one rather than 5 clips. Everybody you know has these defaults on too. And unlike most things I cover, this costs them nothing to fix. So if it was useful, send it to somebody. That does more good than a like. Subscribe if you want the rest. There's a short version of the training toggles going up this evening and one on those shared links tomorrow morning for anyone who wants a single setting rather than all 5. What you don't turn off, they keep. Now you know which switches say otherwise. Go change them. See you soon.